If political competition becomes so expensive that ordinary citizens cannot realistically participate without wealthy patrons, then the formal right remains, while the practical opportunity becomes increasingly unequal. We have a problem. The citizens technically has the right to participate, but who has the resources to compete? That's the question. Who has the network? Who has the access? Who can influence the campaign? Who can afford the lawyers? Who can afford the political machinery? That is how a constitutional democracy can remain formally democratic while becoming increasingly economically unequal in its political participation. And that is what I mean by political inflation. We therefore need to stop looking at political money as isolated scandals. One payment here, one donation there, one alleged bribe somewhere else, one expensive campaign somewhere else. Instead, we need to look at the cumulative effect. We need to look at the cumulative effect, because political inflation works cumulatively. It works cumulatively. The cost of entering politics rises. The cost of campaigning rises. The cost of obtaining influence rises. The cost of maintaining political networks rises. And eventually, politics become increasingly accessible to those who already possess capital. Meanwhile, the ordinary citizen is left with one increasingly fragile instrument, the vote. And if that vote can be overwhelmed by money, patronage, and private influence, then its political purchasing power has become reduced. The citizen still has a vote, but the question is, how much influence can that one vote actually buy? It is not merely about one alleged 10 million payment. It is about the political system that makes such allegation conceivable. It is about the enormous sums of money circulating around political competition. It is about the growing distance between ordinary citizens and the people competing for political power. And ultimately, it is about the value of your vote. Because democracy cannot simply mean that citizens are allowed to vote every few years. Democracy must also mean that their political voice cannot simply be outbid by private wealth. So, protect your vote, demand transparency, demand disclosure, demand accountability, and question every political system in which money appears capable of buying access to power. And why must you do that? Because if political inflation continues unchecked, we may discover something profoundly disturbing. The price of political power will keep rising while the value of ordinary citizens' votes keep falling. And when the vote becomes too cheap to compete with money, democracy itself becomes expensive. Mutwabura, this is Free the Truth. And the truth is not for sale.